wow. Just wow. It has been an entire year since the day we all pretty much got evicted from our classrooms. And, well, it's been an entire year since I have pretty much been in a classroom setting, like an actual building. I have learned a lot over the past year. Like, it has been an adventure, like, to say the least. It's been interesting to, like, learn how to survive a global pandemic and, TikTok, sudden TikTok fame. Like, I don't know, like, it's interesting to think that the same week, my TikTok blew up about the LOL dolls, I had to leave my school, which is emotional to think that obviously I went from a a college student in a commuter school in Massachusetts to a sudden celebrity. Mall Santa version of Melanie Martinez. Okay, yeah, get the back streets, Carl. Commuter school student to pretty much the mall Santa version of Melanie Martinez. Like, I literally didn't know what's Melanie until a couple of my internet friends pointed out, because no one in my real life knows who she is, because she is an alternate pop queen. Alright, I had to pull some of my hair back because, a number of major changes has gone on this past year, especially the past few weeks, is my hair getting very soft and very thick. Like, I am so glad I'm not in school right now, or, like, in-person activities, because, like, my god, I struggle already taking care of it, so it's like, imagine me being in an in-person school right now. Like, no way am I gonna be able to manage it the way I just got out the shower too, so it's like, I am glad I'm not in in-person school, because I would barely be managing it right now, because, like, yes, this is, like, yeah, we love that for me. We totally love that. So, here are some valuable life lessons from surviving a worldwide global pandemic, which has shaped, like, all of us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we were all affected in different ways. Like, some more than others. Like, obviously, lives were lost. We've sacrificed a lot. Like, obviously, I had to sacrifice going to an actual school in person to, protect the safety of others who, you know, like, I'm upset if I can't attend my school today, like, in person, but, like, if I sacrifice going to school in person while I'm still young, someone else in the future is going to be able to, like, be able to attend school. Like, you know, maybe if we all do our parts, wear our masks, social distance, washed our hands, stayed home when we're not doing, like, you know, essential travel, or, like, had big gatherings. Like, you know what I mean? Like, unless it's essential, like, don't go. Do not make a fan account for a fan account. SpongeBob Lover 14 has probably made some really wonderful videos, and people really like their videos, but does a fandom account who makes videos about a fandom such as SpongeBob need a fan account? No! That is ironic and a little creepy, so, many things tries to free make a fan account for a fan account. Like, kind of ironic to do one for a fan of SpongeBob. Like, a fan account for a fan account about SpongeBob. That kind of sounds ironic, you know? Every once in a while, look back at all your old stuff when you were a kid. Like, I'm sure I made some embarrassing stuff. Like, God, problematic. I was a problematic child. Problematic demon child over here. But yeah, like, I'm sure I had some nice work behind all of the, you know, problematic stuff I did, and I do regret I do regret everything. Like, come on, looking back, you know, problematic stuff, you know, but now, you know, it's important that I learn and I grow, and I know that obviously saying half the things I did when I was a kid was not okay, but yeah, like, I grew from it. That's what major rock stars do. They learn from their mistakes. Do anything, especially online right now with the whole COVID situation, everything being online. Look into your heart. Like, is what you're going to do going to offend people, or is it going to, like, you know, help people, if you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna do something evil, college kid behavior, like, act like a college kid, you're gonna, like, do you want to benefit from it in a good way or a bad way, if you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, tagging brands and agencies. Like, I'm not sure I was gonna look at my account, but, I don't know, maybe a representative from Pepsi looks over my account and says, hey, this is cool, we should totally get her to do a deal with us. Little do I know, I'm just a 20-year-old who can't attend their school in person, and I'm here because I am very bored and I just want to talk to my friends. If you're gonna do something risky, being on social media is a huge risk. Like, you know, there's a lot of trolls and, like, you know, people out there who don't, you know, like, who discriminate, and they don't really care, like, that I'm just a random 20-year-old from Boston who, you know, obviously has just lost their college years. Like, please do it correctly, not like correctly, but like do something that's gonna affect you in a positive way, not like a negative way, if you know what I mean. Like yeah, like, do be careful on the internet. Don't post like your surname, your address, your phone number, social security number, your city. Like, I don't post that stuff or give it out to internet friends. Like, do be careful with your personal information online. Pause what you're doing sometimes. I know it's hard for me to do so, like being committed to schoolwork during the past year when I did online school. Like, yeah, nothing made me more mad than when my friend Jordan decides to text me in the middle of algebra, doing my algebra work at home during our spring break, and be like, "Hi, I want to introduce you to Eric Clapton." But thank God I listened, I paused my work, and yeah, I learned all these new artists, which is something you don't really learn about in the school classroom or like in a online school. Stick to what you personally know, but do try new things among like your things you personally know. So like, I'm on Discord at school for my computer science club, and among this Discord I get to try new things and post about memes or like my personal life outside the club, which, you know, I do a lot outside of that club. Like, I definitely have a completely different life. My major and dream job doesn't make sense. By the way, I'm not disclosing major, so stop with the major questions. Like, I am not disclosing it online. I'm probably gonna have to put that in all my video links just so people won't ask at all. I probably personally know, but do not be afraid to try new things. Like, obviously I'm home right now because of quarantine, but like, I do have the opportunity to try new things online, like to see if I want to do it, like do it. Like, I don't know, like do it after the situation ends, or do I, yeah, you know what I mean? That's good to try new things among like school, like activities are in it. So yeah, like I got to try out data science when I took a coding class in the fall, and I realized, that's not for me. But yeah, I just was like, yeah, I'm not really interested in that. Thank your editors, and do not steal their audios. Editors take several hours just to film a 20-second clip of, I don't know, Taylor Swift. Like, that Taylor Swift video that you watch, which is like a 30-second long edit, that takes like 5 hours for the editors to do. Like, sometimes the editors are up all night till midnight. Like, I can relate doing POC TikTok over the summer. Like, I was up all night until like midnight with the finale. Like I sometimes see you editors, like, y'all are really amazing. Also, shout out to Carly's biggest fan. Like, I'm sure these edits of me take several hours to make, because, like, you know, editors work really hard behind the scenes to, like, give us content about our favorite celebrities. Like, you know what I mean? Like, wherever it's SpongeBob. Like, yeah. Like, I applaud you editors if you're an editor right now. So, yeah. Despite your privilege, and if you can pay full price, take advantage of discounts. Like, it's so worth it. My family takes advantage of all the cheap flights that we can find whenever we travel. So it's like, even though we can pay full price for these flights, we still take advantage of the discounted flights, like during COVID. Like, obviously during COVID, when the whole thing was, obviously, like, we didn't know what was happening for online school before school shut down, we took advantage of these cheap flights due to COVID, and obviously we weren't able to go. Also, some of my Amiibos, you know, I have a ton of Amiibos who follow me for a long time. Like, some of them are, like, discounts, you know what I mean? Like, discounted Amiibos were part of loyalty programs, you know what I mean? Children make wonderful music, but do not force them into blackface, especially if they're not black. And do not do sleepovers with them every weekend. Like, I'm sure having a sleepover with them is going to be really fun, but maybe wait until they're a legal adult. Don't stand the mall Santa versions of your favorite celebrities. Melanie Martinez and Pattie Boyd are really great celebrities, and they're busy right now with, well, Pattie has photography work to do, and Melanie Martinez has to write a film. She's obviously quarantined. So, they have their fans, some of their fans are even picked by them. Well, it's not like Melanie was like, hey, be my mall Santa. Like, obviously, there's, like, people who are like them, who have to be part of the fandom, obviously have to participate in the fandom, and they have to withhold the values of these celebrities while the actual celebrities are busy doing other things, you know what I mean? If something isn't right, leave. I got off my college just in time, and thank God I did, even if I wish I was there today.
In my room, looking at all I've done, everything I wanted has come to fruition. I should be happy.
Hope you all enjoyed that Pattie Boyd commercial break featuring Melanie Martinez. We totally stand them. But we shouldn't stand the mall Santa version of them towards me and Miss Model. We're not the real Melanie or Pattie. We're just the equivalent of Santa's helpers to them. So what were we on again? Something isn't right, leave. Yeah. Pretty much got evicted from my college before things got toxic. And yeah, there were some red flags at school. Like, I just knew, like, obviously it was creepy that I was hanging out with a bunch of grown adults who were old enough to be my parents, and my only friend who was my age, like, well, my age was 21 at the time, and I was a young teenager. Not like a young teenager, but like, you know, like I was 18 and 19 at the time, so it's like, I wish I was here today, like right now, but I am glad I got out when I did, because it's like, you know, things are different, and like, I don't know, like, I obviously couldn't model there, and I couldn't, like, you know, there wasn't any opportunities for me to, like, I don't know, you know what I mean, like, that school wasn't the right school for me, to be honest. Like, I'm sure if I waited a little, if I got a little older, like, older, like, 26 or something, I could totally benefit, but, like, at the age I currently was when I attended that school, yeah, it's, like, wasn't the best school for me to be in at that age, so it's, like, I wasn't emotionally ready. Like, I skipped the acupuncture placement test thingy, but I got out when I did, and yeah, I also got some juice while y'all were watching my Pattie Boyd fan cam. Yes! Work hard, especially in school, but play even harder. Don't wait until senior year or your final year at school to take all the fun classes. Take the fun classes now, while you're meeting requirements. Like, I joined my rock and roll history class because I wanted something fun to fulfill the requirements. So I was like, I have to fill this requirement for school. Why don't I just take a really fun class I really enjoy and see if I can enjoy doing it? Like, if it's just going to be like an extracurricular activity for me, if you know what I mean? And that's how I met Jordan. By the way, stream his album. He'd really appreciate it. So would I. And remember, if you stream his album, make sure to stream it in full and then add to your playlist that you already listened to in your spare time. Sometimes you gotta improvise. I can't get test shots done because of COVID, but I can totally practice on TikTok and Instagram. You gotta like improvise, you know, especially during quarantine. Like, I'm so upset that I couldn't go to school in person, but I went to school on my TV. Like, I had my WebEx classes on TV, you know, on my Apple TV, Smart TV, you know. Along the way, celebrate every single milestone. Reaching a certain goal on TikTok. Surviving a pandemic. All the time. What you originally thought was your plan, it could always change. Like, I legit thought that I was gonna be at my college for 2 years, then transfer. But then COVID happened! And, well, we all know how that went down. Like, it's crazy to think that around this time 2 years ago when I got accepted to the college, and then around this time last year when I had to leave the college, well, I switched on, but still, I pretty much lost the experience my first year, and, like, yeah. Obviously, it's not the same as being online. I do enjoy being online, but, you know, it's just not the same as being in a class in person with human interaction. Like, I do miss the human interaction of people outside of my family. Document as much as you can. Like, it's good when I have a YouTube channel and TikTok and also private accounts to look back on all my stuff when I'm older. Like, wow, summer 2020, I modeled for a protest. Or, wow, during this time of my life, I did this. Like, I have stuff to document and look back on when I'm older, so I could be like, wow, I discovered Pattie Boyd when I was the year I turned 21. Or, I was really into this at the time, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm really into, or I can help you with, like, career choices. Like, I've consulted all my old friends, old teachers, and been like, hi. I've been, like, trying to, we just, like, guess each other's career paths and majors, and they're like, oh, yeah, I should totally look into this career or that career, and then think back, I'm like, oh, wow, they're so right, looking back at my old stuff. It's like, you know what I mean? It's kind of interesting to look back and, like, have, like, consult with others, you know what I mean? If you live in my state, thank Governor Baker, but hold him accountable. COVID is not over yet, and we have to make sure that we're keeping each other healthy and safe, and he has to play his part too, if he wants us to have futures and lives. Support the supporting stars as your main characters. They work really, really hard behind the scenes to support the main stars. There's Luigi and Pattie. And, well, yeah, Pattie and Melanie have supporting stars, if you know what I mean. Melanie has her best friend Jackie, and Pattie has her sister Jenny. And they've worked really hard, and they have to protect them from, like, things like internet trolls. And, of course, if you go to my Zoom calls on Mondays and Wednesdays, my friend Jordan's there, and he's our moderator. And remember, Photoshop is for memes, not turning models into something they're not. Like, if you want to use Photoshop to enhance your model, that's fine. If you want to turn a model into an appropriate meme, that's fine. But do not use Photoshop to pretty much turn these models into this fake image of who they actually are, if you know what I mean. Like, that's not how Photoshop should be used. When Pattie modeled, Photoshop was not a thing until the 80s, and Pattie modeled in the 60s, so it's like, things were different back then, and yeah, it's kind of sad how Photoshop is being used today. Like, Photoshop should be used appropriately, you know what I mean? Like, it's a great tool out there, but you need to use that correctly, you know what I mean? Well, not correctly, you know what I mean? Like, in an appropriate way, it's not gonna harm people. Like, use Photoshop for, like, school projects, or, to enhance your model's natural beauty, or to, like, make an appropriate means on the internet, but don't use it to, like, create, like, a fake beauty standard no one will follow. Don't use it to make, like, an unrealistic reality of what the real world look like. And yeah, just don't use Photoshop, like, to cause harm. Use it for good. Like, use it to benefit people in a good way, if you know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm using Photoshop to do this, if you know what I mean? So yeah, over this past year, I've done a lot. I made the honor roll, I passed some hard classes at my college, which is pretty much preschool and kindergarten. I advertised my friend's album. I learned I was the mall Santa version of Melanie, and learned how to be more like that, if you know what I mean, or to withhold the traits of Melanie, if you know what I mean. And I also did something for outside school for the very first time when I did POC TikTok. So yeah, pretty much all these life lessons were things I learned over the year that I pretty much couldn't go to school in person, but who knows what the future could hold. Maybe I decide I want to go back to school one day, or maybe TikTok blows up and I get to do really amazing things because of it, like brand deals. Also, recently, I got a brand reach out to me, and they were like, hey, like, we want, you know what I mean, like one of those brand deals for Instagram. Like, I was like, well, I'm not interested right now, but in the future, I'll let you know. And, well, they'll know in the future, so yeah. Stay safe, wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart, do things safely. Goodbye.